I just say that? What up, man? Good? Yes, sir.
What's up?
You good?
All right. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the InnerChild Podcast, where we have authentic conversations about childhood growth and passions. I'm OD, always bringing the waves to you with my boy JB. Today we have a really special guest. You know,
Yeah.
I would love to give a really long introduction, man. But you know, I guess throughout the episode, you'll figure out, man. This my partner, this my twin, this my slime. This our frat brother, this our homie.
My brother.
Man, this the face, Mr. Blake Simpson. What's going on,
man.
twin?
What's up, brother? You good?
Man, I'm cooling, man.
Hey, man, before we get started, bro, just want to tell y'all boys I'm proud of y'all, man.
Man, appreciate it, man. Nah, I appreciate it, man.
Some shirts for y'all boys, man. Hey, man,
Gifts.
OD, I know you like the crop
Yeah,
fit.
big drip.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mo.
Ooh.
That's
Got
good.
y'all
Mo.
boys, man.
That's good. Mo
Oh
right there.
No
shit.
doubt.
First gift.
Hey, man,
First gift on the show.
you got
Yeah.
brothers that's doing good, bro. Y'all make sure y'all take care of
That's
them.
tough.
I'm wearing this on the next episode for sure. I'm wearing
Appreciate
this.
that, bro.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate
That's
this,
love.
man.
That's
Appreciate it, man. Nah, for sure. Look, Blake, man, we wanted you on the show for the viewers that don't know. Blake, when we was running our like mock test runs and
Yes.
stuff like that, and we was just trying to get the flow for the camera and then just trying to figure out how like we would set this show up. Blake was actually the person that we shot like a test run with.
Facts.
And, you know, we chopped it up about a few things,
forgot
trying to
that.
see how things would go. So Blake really like our first guest unofficially. So appreciate you for coming back, man. You know, like I said, we really wanted you on the show. I was talking to JB about this early this morning, how like, you know, you're very fun and energetic, like, you know, social guy, but like you are a very multi-layered individual, right? It's more to you than just you being this very charismatic and amusing person, man. Like you
Thanks.
come from a great place, like, you know, and we'll talk about that today, man. So definitely want to, like I said thank you for coming on the show, man, and giving us the opportunity, you know, sit down with you today, brother.
Definitely.
You always watching the show. You're giving us a lot of pointers on some of the things that we need and, you know, some of the things that you think we should hook up. So we got a segment today, bro.
Okay.
We got a segment today. I know that was one of the things you mentioned. So we're gonna introduce the segment today for sure. But before we introduce the segment, I want to shout out my boy Amp over at Ampere. Ampere obviously is a wine company with vineyards from like I think the southern Oregon area.
Yep, that's correct.
I know his flavors are the Riesling,
The
the
Muscat,
Muscat, and
the Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, Pinot Grigio. So, what we have with us today?
We got the Muscat.
We having all that.
All right, we got the Muscat and stuff. So, you know, for sure, we're gonna drink some and sip as we go throughout the episode. So once again, Ampere Code, check them out at AmpereCellars.com. Let's go ahead and check them out. But yeah, man, introducing our segment.
Sure.
We call this segment Drip Check. Let's clap it up.
Okay.
So, I mean, look, segment really simple, man. Just to kind of like do a little icebreaker with the guests that we have on the show. We want to make sure, like, you know, we give the guests an opportunity to talk about their fit,
Okay.
you know, what they was thinking
I'm
about.
not mad at that.
Like, you know, coming into the podcast, you know, tunnel fit vibes. Like, what was the energy today when it came to your
For
fit?
sure, man. I'm actually glad I ain't wearing no sweatsuit or nothing, man. I came through on the plane this morning. Had a cool sweatsuit. Shout out my boys at home, Dose ATL, man. Had some Dose drip on this morning, but I switched out of that. Celine hoodie, man.
Yeah.
Sweater hoodie.
Shishki.
I keep some beads on my wrist just
Yeah.
because I feel like it just adds to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Simple, but it's like white shirt under. It
Yeah.
works for me because I got these white and black Ricks on.
Mm.
Feel me? So you see the white shirt,
Mhm.
you see the white and toe,
I like that.
gray baggy pants, got some chains on.
Right.
Can't really see them till I stand up. Got some chains on my pants, and Ricky's fat laces.
I like that. Chains on, no biker. I like it.
Yeah, that about it.
But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Like OD said, man, it's really good to have you on. Blake's one of our fraternity brothers. So we've got to know each other a great deal over the 4 years in school, but since we all graduated, it's been great. Just knowing you and seeing how you've evolved and how you've genuinely matured over time as a person, right? So I want to make sure I give you your flowers. And going off what OD said, is one thing when people see Blake or your Instagram, WLBMS, shout out Camp Blake, but when they see all that, they may just see that at surface level and not really see like the man behind who Blake Michael Simpson is, if you know what I'm saying, the full name, BMS, people didn't know. But like, you're more than just what is seen on social media. Like, yeah, that's your brand, but like, you're deeper than even that. You feel me? So I just can't wait to get in conversation with you a lot today. But I'm proud of you and like all that you've accomplished. Since upon graduating, from school, and just seeing you elevate your personal brand and your business has definitely inspired both of us. So I want to make sure I give you those flowers, before we, get into the first segment, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Actually, I want to let the viewers know, man. JB, you kept me going with my business. We'll talk more about it probably throughout this. But like, JB, he supports like from afar. Like I stay in Atlanta, he stays here in New York, but every time he has an idea, he's shooting me detailed, long messages. I'm swiping through trying to see like how can I incorporate what he's saying into my business. So every week, every month, I'm trying to grow, trying to make sure I'm elevating. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you for, sticking by me and like, definitely. Because it was a time where, I didn't know if I was going to continue with it, but you kind of kept me in that right direction. So I appreciate it.
Nah, for sure.
Definitely.
But starting out, growing up in Atlanta, those roots, growing up in Cobb County, give us that background. What was it like, growing up right outside of Metro Atlanta in Cobb County? What was that dynamic like with, friends, family, and just the city, outside of Atlanta itself and Atlanta as well?
Yeah, so for me, I grew up in Kennesaw, Georgia, which is like 25, 30 minutes from the city, from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Pretty diverse area. Now, growing up, it was more so on the white side. Mm-hmm. Grew up 3, 4, 5 minutes from where I graduated, Cal High School. Not far at all. 2 sisters, no brothers. Yeah. So, being in the frat was a big deal to me because I ain't had no brothers growing up. But love my sisters. One, 26. She's staying in North Carolina now. Braxton, and then we got Boston. She's a senior now. About to graduate.
Killer bees. Killer bees.
But yeah, it was good. It was good growing up over there. I feel like my dad and my mom gave me a good taste of like, the black side of things, but also like making sure I understand like, growing up in the suburbs as well. Cause like my dad, he from the hood, like College Park. Mm-hmm. So he took us over there pretty often just so we can get a taste of that. My parents going to HBCU really inspired me. Mm-hmm. We went to homecomings with them growing up, stuff like that. They just kept a diverse mindset in our minds, in our heart. Didn't play about, grades and stuff like that. Yeah. Like we grew up A's and B's student. Things like that. I think it all shaped, especially like another thing I like to think about growing up is like me having my sisters. It really taught me to be like really gentle with women, like a gentleman, but also gentle with women, if that makes sense. Okay. Like I'll like, it's like little stuff that I noticed that I do around women just because I grew up, like my dad grew up being rough on me about being being like having sisters, like be soft with them, make sure you do these type of things with them, for them, and they'll, kind of paying off for me.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, like, obviously, on top of, like, the family upbringing, right, seems like there were people who was really big on making sure that, like, you was very well rounded. And like I said, that's something that I get from you all the time, right? I get that from you, but I also get like you're a big community guy too, right? Aside from like having two sisters, aside from, you know, having mom and dad in the crib, making sure that you was taken care of, like you also like you got big friend groups, you know, your extended family is another thing that like you're a very involved person when it comes to like the whole community aspect of like your world and being present for your people, you know. How has that, like what was that dynamic like? Because like I said, that's something that we get from you. Like you just a big community guy, right? So how was that instilled into you, and how come like that's something you still carrying on with you to today?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I always pride myself on being a good person to like others, only because that's how I was raised. You know, my parents was always good to me, good to those around them.
Yeah.
My sisters, if you met them now, like they're the same way. Like we all just good to people. Like, and it always comes back, like in one shape or another, one way or another. Me being a community guy, it's crazy because like when I was younger, I was more so like on the shy side.
You were more reserved.
Yeah. And I don't know. I really don't know.
That's crazy.
I know it's hard to believe.
I want to see that.
I know, but like. It's crazy. I know some people watching this, like, they'll be like, yeah, like, Blake really wasn't, he was kind of shy growing up. But it kind of switched during college. But, like, I think really also growing up being, like, actually active in the community. Like, my grandma, she always, like, my grandma stayed in Nashville. We always used to feed the homeless and do little things for the community, stuff like that. I feel like it was important to, like, feed back into what, you know, was poured into me. So stuff like that is important to me, which is why I do stuff like that today. And even like when we was in school, like the march and all that stuff, like I feel like all that tied into like who I was growing up, and it's really paying off.
So to bounce off that same topic, right? I've been really meaning to ask you this question. You are really good at connecting people, right? So like obviously, you know, we're your fraternity brothers. And obviously you had your football, you know, folks, right? But the biggest thing is you had your boys from back in Atlanta. And anytime they came to school, FAMU, or anytime they came on a trip with us, it was almost like they were like our brothers too. And like you really make people feel like they already knew somebody before we actually knew them. You know what I'm saying? Whether you talk about them because you speak highly of them, or whether you just naturally make them comfortable around us to where, you know, if, you know, shout out to White or shout out to Chaz, right? Like if they were to come here, like I wouldn't really need you to hang out with them because it's normal. So like, how did you like kind of do that? Like what kind of goes behind that? Like could you do that with everybody, right? Like
everybody,
I don't even think I've met Sean, right? But like
you feel like
I would feel that energy because of how you know, speak about him and how you really, you know, lift your guys up. Like where does that come from?
Yeah, that's crazy you mentioned Sean, because like right before we got here, he was like, make sure you shout me out.
Nah, like but see, you know what I'm saying? Like
but I think it speaks to me, but it also speaks to them as like who they are as people. Like they're able to connect with different people from different backgrounds, able to like quickly adapt with you know, different settings and stuff like that. So, you know, it's me, like you said, speaking highly of them beforehand, always putting them on my story and stuff like that. Just people seeing that they're just like me. Like we're all always together. It's pretty much 4 of us, like me, or 5 of us, I guess. Me, my boy Sean, Chaz, White, and our boy Austin. And then we got girlfriend group as well. They're the same way. So like, I think it speaks more towards them. But I guess for me, it's like, just making them feel like don't make them feel like they're not a part. Like even like White, like when he comes to FAMU, he'd be like, bro, can I even be at the frat house? Like, I'm not a Kappa, but like, is that gonna be weird? I'm like they already know you, man. Like it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
Just kind of making them feel like it's not gonna be a big deal if they're, you know, a part of everything. So, and I know y'all character too. Like y'all are very welcoming as well. So everyone I bring around my boys, I'm make sure that they like kind of make sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. Me, I've always been the kind of person. It's like if I know you got good character, I'm always gonna probably assume that the people you keep around you follow
Yeah.
the same line of characteristics that you have. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, for you, that he's right. It's never been a moment where like I've been around any one of your partners that I felt like them boys didn't belong. For me personally, trying to like I got homies too, right? And not too many times am I bringing all my homies around. So like to see you do it, it's just like damn, that's a skill.
Yeah.
But credit to them boys for that.
Right.
But in the same space, it's like that's a skill to be able to like vet out the right kind of people to have around you, where you could take them to, you know, school, you could take them to vacations, you could take them to more intimate settings, and then they all gonna be on one accord and act the same. And
Right.
like that's a really big testament to the kind of characteristics you know you kind of have as a person.
For sure.
Yeah, so you going back to, the matriculation of, growing up right outside of Atlanta, being at Marietta for 3 years and then transitioning to Kel for your final year of high school, looking to, go play off D1 ball, right? How was that like going from a place where you were very comfortable for 3 years and then all of a sudden you change to a school where you may know a few guys, playing the game, but it's clearly a different environment to what you've been accustomed to growing up, with the same guys and ladies as well in school. How was that like, and how did that ultimately shape you as you left to go off to college?
Right. I always say like it's a funny thing. It's funny how God like does things for
Yes.
you in your life, but it all made sense as I got older. Like at first it didn't make sense, but like God makes things more clear as you grow. So
Right.
the thing with that is, so I grew up, like I said, minutes from Kel.
Mhm.
So I kind of knew some of those guys from Kel already.
Mhm.
But my dad, he worked in Marietta, which was like 15, 20 minutes from where we stayed. But my dad worked in Marietta School District. So once he got that job there, I was in third grade. So we ended up going to school in Marietta School District.
Mhm.
So from third grade to me being in 10th grade, like the end of my 10th grade year, we was at Marietta. So however many years that is, 7, 8 years, my dad was there. Then he ended up getting a new job. So I could no longer go to school there because it was a city school, not like a county school. So like
Okay.
I would have to pay if I wanted to go there. So Braxton was
Mhm.
finishing, Braxton is my older sister. She was finishing out her senior year. So they let her stay there her senior year. But my junior and senior year, I was at Kel.
Got it.
But why I say it was like a big blessing for me is because, I played football. I played football at Marietta, Kel. But at Marietta, like all my friends was there. Like I said, I was there since third grade. So I met a lot of them boys, as I was growing up.
Mhm.
So leaving was hard. Like I remember my first day at Kel, I was like, bruh, I'm not messing with this, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was damn near finna cry, bro. Like I was like, I want to go back. I told my dad like I want to go back. Like nah, bro. Like just do it, do it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make it work. My first year there, man, I ain't barely got no snaps, bro.
Mhm.
I'm like, this 5A football, like I should be playing. Like what's going on, right? Senior year come around, it's like a whole different story. Like new coach come in. He knew me because I used to play against him when I was at Marietta. He was at Walton. He said, or I was about to play quarterback again, but then I ended up playing receiver.
Mhm.
And really that was like my first time playing receiver. But I played receiver, had a crazy senior year, and it ended up, I say it ended up being a blessing is because it ended up leading me to the school that I ultimately wanted to go to. Like FAMU was a dream school for me, but I always wanted to go to HBCU. But when I visited FAMU, I always said I wanted to be somewhere, where it's hot. Not too close to home, but not too far. And then also, I wanted to play ball. So when Willie them called, like, I answered. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I had a big year. They came up to the school, talked to me, and, the rest is history. So I felt like the school dynamic was different. Like I said, Marietta was more so like my black friends.
Mhm.
Kel was mostly white. And it was a big difference. That was the main reason why, like, while I was there, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends, just the guys that I knew growing up. Football teammates, basketball teammates, track teammates, things like that. But yeah, it ended up being a blessing. So I'm really grateful for, being able to make that switch.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. So on the topic of like sports, obviously, you high school football star obviously translated over to you being able to do your thing at FAMU. Me and JB obviously we all play sports growing up. And one thing about sports is that it provides like a level of discipline and character building that is kind of unmatched, that most people don't really get a real opportunity to seek the benefits from that when you don't play sports, right? And obviously there's many opportunities that you'll have as a person to kind of like be able to grow and I guess be the best person you possibly could. But, being in sports and the level of leadership, level of discipline and the character that it kind of provides is unmatched. Like talk a little bit about like what that did for you, like growing up as an adult, like leading you into, your college years and so on and so forth. Like how was playing sports a way for you to kind of like stay in line and, build up this Blake that we see today?
Yeah, I think two things for me. It gave me like a sense of, gave me a great sense of time management, just for myself, my everyday life. And two, it gave me a great leadership trait that I don't think I would have had otherwise. Growing up from a kid all the way up to high school, I played quarterback. Quarterback was a natural leadership position. Like everyone's looking towards you. I think naturally I am already a leader just because of who I am, I guess. But it's more so like, as a quarterback, you're the point guard of the team. Like, you know what's going on. You know what everybody's doing. So that was kind of one thing, just being a quarterback, that kind of helped me become a leader. But also, like, when I say time management, I feel like playing high school sports, like I played 3 sports in high school. A lot of people don't know I actually ran track a little bit at FAMU as well. So I played 2 sports in college. But just like, setting priorities throughout your day, using all 24 hours of your day, making sure like what comes first. Like, your schoolwork comes first, your family, then the sports stuff. Like a lot of athletes don't understand that, but hopefully I'm able to, spread that more often, make sure people know like, sports is gonna be there, but you gotta make sure you get everything else done, because that's like what's gonna make you your money. Like even if you're in sports, like having other avenues, stuff like that, being well versed, always having something to do, like always being busy. Staying busy is something my mom preaches a lot. Like if y'all know my sister, like she's ridiculously busy, like on a daily basis, like, and that's just something that we grew up doing, and yeah, I feel like sports taught me that for sure.
So you mentioned 2 sports. The third sport is basketball.
Basketball, yeah.
Blake be hooping.
Yeah,
but Blake,
man.
I wanted to clear this up because he said this shit one day on the episode, and I still be thinking about this shit.
When you was
bro. He seen me play with y'all one time, and then he
judged you off that.
He judged me out that one time.
I mean, but
you gotta let him know, Blake.
No, yeah, look.
Clear it up, please.
OD got a strap on him.
Okay.
He can shoot it. He had a bad day. That was a bad day.
Thank you, sir.
It was a bad day, but
Terrific.
it was a bad day because that was when we played our pro fights or our neo.
Our neos,
That was
bro.
Neo.
Yeah. We need
until the
you-
gym
we
lights
need you
turned
that
off,
day.
bro.
We need you there.
Man, I just walked in the gym. I got like a 2-minute stretch in, and I was letting it fly. I was just doing the best I possibly could.
Some
But
good stuff.
It was great.
You know what I'm
It was
saying?
great
But-
AC.
yeah, the AC was piping.
Now I'm talking about for your air balls.
Oh shit, that's crazy work. I ain't see that one
That is
coming,
wild.
bro.
Nah, but yeah, OD can hoop for sure, bro. He not like I seen trash. He not trash.
I believe it.
Yeah.
He's athletic. So
I'll show you next time, bro.
okay. I mean,
I'll show you next time, man. I'll show you next time. But now for sure with Blake, man, we obviously we've gotten blessed with the opportunity to know you through FAMU, right? And obviously we pledge Alpha Z, Kappa Alpha Psi, you know what I'm saying? To the day we die. Yo, baby. But nah, for sure, man, like your experience at FAMU, man, not just from, being a student athlete, but also like leading that activism, right? You were part of activism. You took a picture with Vice President Kamala Harris. So I want to say you had your fair share in kind of pushing that narrative, for the Black student population, to kind of have a level of interest in politics. Obviously while you were at FAMU, you also do a lot of community things like giving back to the community and, showing up for the less fortunate and stuff like that. So I want you to, if in detail, talk about like your experience at FAMU and I guess like what some of the plans were that you had walking into an experience like that and what you left with.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I can't speak enough about FAMU and what like it's done for me, bro. Like, and I'm sure y'all could say the same. But for me, it's like I didn't really have any expectations going into like school. Honestly, like I just was a football player. Like I'll be honest, I was just a football player. I knew I was gonna have good grades because I grew up on that, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do, which is why my major, y'all wouldn't even believe it. I don't know if I told y'all this.
Yeah, you.
My major was biological systems
G
engineering.
shit?
Yes, bro.
I didn't see that one.
That was my first major. And the reason that was my major is because I had a football scholarship, but I wasn't on full scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to like pay the rest off, I had to do something like that. And they was paying big money over there because they only had like 10 people in the major.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a whole bunch of money over there. So me and Clem was in there. Bro, I did it for one semester, bro. I could not do it, man. I said, man, get me out of here, bro.
Yeah.
I ended up switching over to ag business, and it's been good for me. I was able to get a job from a few internships. That was good for me. But honestly, man, my experience, bro, it definitely shaped me into who I am, like, socially. I would say socially because, like, going in, like, I'm sure y'all didn't even know me my freshman year. That's, like, I was really just a football player. Like, I didn't do much, you feel me? But it's just more so, like, as I kept, meeting people and going to the bottom calf and talking to women and going to GVO, Privé, all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I just kind of found like, okay, you been cool, but like you real cool, bro. Like,
yeah,
you cool, man. So like, I figured like, I just kind of, and really as I came in, I wasn't thinking about Kappa at all. Like my dad's a Kappa. He never really pushed it on me.
Same, yeah.
Like he was like, you feel me? If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, whatever, bro. But it like took me a while. And then I realized like they was dropping a line. I kind of seen like some around campus and stuff. And Mac, shout out Matt Green. He was on my football team. He kind of knew my dad was a Kappa. He was talking to me a little bit about it. So I ended up doing that. One of the greatest things that happened to me, man. Like I said, my 19 other line brothers. I love y'all boys, man. Y'all know how I feel about that. What else, man? Activism.
Yeah.
I did this. I don't know if y'all want me to go into detail about it. The march.
The march, yeah, no, for sure.
So,
That was big, bro.
For sure, man. So I did a march, man. August of 2020. I was literally in my room watching ESPN. This was around the time where Jacob Blake died from police brutality. So what I did was I was watching. I was like, dang, like George Floyd, Jacob Blake, like who's next, right? Like this is kind of getting out of hand. COVID spreading, and
yeah, COVID.
It's a lot going on right now, man. So, I was at home during the summer, going to different rallies and protests and stuff like that. So I kind of knew like what to do. I just knew like I could do it myself if I wanted to. So what I did is I called Willie, which is my football coach. I called him because I knew he had contacts over the city. So I was like, can you put me in contact with the police department of Tallahassee? So, we can block the streets off, all that stuff, get some parking and whatever. Called my boy Mod. He got me a flyer made. Shout out to Mod, man. He got my flyer made. Posted it. Had a whole bunch of people come. A lot of press. A lot of big articles from that, like a lot of like positive attention I got from that. Shout out my boy Miley for helping me as well. But that was a highlight of my college career because I feel like it was like from my heart. I wasn't doing it for no other reason. Like as a black man, I feel like we had to do something from Tallahassee. Like what can I do to help? Like from my community right here. So I felt like that was very positive. My coach applauded it. Ended up getting a couple awards from it. Larry Award.
Larry O'Brien?
No, Larry Robinson. The Presidential Leadership Award. Stupid, bro. So yeah, that. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that pushes me. It was good for me, and that kind of was a big moment in my college career. Like I said, great college experience.
1,000%. And I want to go to something that, you know, this drive that you have, this drive, this passion, this motivation that you have, just to excel and want to be like the best version of yourself. You want to be, you know, you always want to produce the best possible product, right? And so an example I can give is after, you know, we pledged our sophomore year, and then like it was the COVID year. So a lot of stuff was like really just uncertain. And then that spring semester of our junior year, which was like all remote, we ended up throwing this party. I'll never forget, we talk about this all the time, is that, you know, we would wake up and me and Blake would literally send each other text messages, and they would be the exact same thing as to what we have to do today, how many tickets we need to sell, when we're posting, how many doors we need to knock on. You know, we need to have a fish fry one day. We need to have a community service event one day. We need to do a car wash this day.
Music video this day.
Like, ever since then, we were always like lock in step of how we need to do things, right? And I say that to say, we fast forward to another year. We go to our senior year when, you know, we got brothers like OD, Corey, Izzy, Dex, Ram, who, you know, end up, you know, graduating and going on to, you know, other cities, right? And it's just kind of, you know, less brothers, but yet you still have that same grind that you had when you initially, you know, pledged and, you know, said this is what we're gonna do, right? What was that like? Where does that come from? Where does that drive, that passion, just to, no matter what it is, you want to keep going at it regardless of the circumstances, no matter if, you know, one last thing is that, before I let you answer, is one thing that I really believe that we believe in, you know, I'll say in our frat is that, or really our chapter, I say as well, is regardless if, you know, we may not have the best event here or the best thing there, we're gonna pop it regardless. Like we're gonna go out there and try and perform. Go for play. We're gonna go for regardless. So where does that come from you though?
So for me, man, I feel like one of my biggest fears, probably my biggest fears, is like failing. Like I'm allergic. Like I would do anything but fail, bro. Like
allergies.
I would do anything.
That's crazy.
Like, man, like, so that's really what it comes from. So like anything I got going on that's got my name on it, like it's gonna be thorough. Thorough is something that we learn by being a Kappa, something that I take very seriously, and I know you do as well. I could tell by how y'all do this, all the notes y'all have, how y'all work on this every day, even from the production standpoint, like everything's very thorough. So I know y'all took that with y'all as well. But me not wanting to fail, and like me, you know, just knowing that if it comes to a point where I'm about to fail, it's like I gotta work even harder. So like waking up every day, texting you, it's like I gotta make sure you on the same page as me, because my name's on it. So my name's on it, your name's on it. We're brothers. Like, we got to make this work. It's less brothers in town. You feel me? Now we got to pick up the slack. We got to do more. As you know, like big companies, big groups, big team settings, it's never going to be the whole group to do everything. Like the main 80/20. Meat and potatoes, 80/20. The main meat and potatoes, it's got to be a few people that's like willing to put the work in, and you just got to live with that. That's just how life is. It's how companies run. That's how organizations run. That's how it is, man. So, that's pretty much it. Like me just being allergic to, you know, failure. I just want to make sure everything I do, everything with my name on it is as thorough as possible.
For sure.
No, for sure. With that level of thoroughness, I feel like you know, have transitioned that over to obviously like your passion project with Camp Blake, you know, a lot of people see Camp Blake on social media and they think it's just like a travel.
Yeah.
What is Camp Blake for the
Right.
people who
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know?
no, for sure.
What is-
Yeah.
We'll get opportunity to talk about Camp Blake, but a lot of people see it. But when I see Camp Blake, like I said, the things that I always see in you is like I see the sense of community. I see like hospitality. I see like I said, the same things I've always talked about, like giving back to the community, you know, throwing events and creating like the right kind of experiences for people. So talk a little bit about like Camp Blake and, you know, your mission, how did that
Right.
come about, you know, what the plans that you have set up and some of the things that you've done, you know, good or bad, you
Right.
know, with Camp Blake.
Right. Yeah. So Camp Blake is event planning business. I've transitioned it to an event planning business
Sure.
probably this last year. At first, I'll tell you how it started. So, going into my senior year, summer of 21, I was going on trips with my boys. You know, people swiping up always like, man, like when I'm gonna get invited. Y'all should do a trip with everybody. You know, figure that out, whatever. So I'm in the living room, I'm kicking it. Me and my pops and my boy White, I'm just like, dang, what's something I can do with like everybody? What's the trip I could do with everybody? So like, you know, we could all just have a good time. You know, we college students going into our senior year, let's just do something fun. So my dad, he like, you should do a cabin trip. I'm like, a cabin trip like in the summer? He said, yeah, like it's probably cheapest right now. Like people usually go in the winter or the fall. So I'm like, dang, like, all right, let me look that up. Found a cabin, went back on my Instagram. I put a poll on my story. I was like, you know, if I did a cabin trip, who would pull up? So many people was like, all right, yeah, I'm coming. So that first trip, I wasn't even thinking business at all. I'm just like, all right,
Thinking a good time.
I'm just like, let's have a
Yeah.
good time. I'm going to pay for this B&B. So I think everyone paid like $180 to $200. Like it was sweet, bro. Like we're going to pay for this. We're going to pay for this cabin. We'll have some food there. Like it wasn't thorough at all. Like it was just a trip, but everyone had a good time. Like
Good vibe.
that first one was like 40-some people. It was crazy. Big cabin. And then after that, I was kind of like off it. I was cool off it. I'm like, all right, we had a good time, whatever. Next summer come around, my boy, he texted me. He like, hey, yo, are you doing another one? I was like, nah, I didn't think about it, bro. But like, should I? And he was like, yeah, like, why not,
Yeah.
bro? Like, we had a
That
good
shit was
time.
jumping, boy.
I said, dang. So now I'm starting to think like, okay, this got some traction. Like, people are looking forward to this. So, you know, I do another trip, almost 30 people at that one. But I'm getting a little better now. Now I have a chef. Now I have a detailed itinerary. Now we're doing things. It's a longer trip. You feel me? Now I'm treating it more like a business. So 23 winter come around. I'm like, okay, maybe this should be a business, bro. Like I'm starting to like what we're doing here. Like I feel like this can be good. So I get the LLC. 23 winter trip was great. And then, you know, from there I kind of started doing a lot of different things. Like, so now I got scholarships. I host parties. I have a big Miami boat trip, 4th of July. Y'all make sure y'all pull up to that. Summer trips, fall trips, winter trips, parties, community service, like Christmas. I do an annual Christmas care package giveaway, things like that. And I'm just constantly like, 2025, bro. Y'all gonna see this in 25, but this is like 25 is gonna be Camp Blake like takeover. It's gonna be crazy, like a lot. It's a lot of stuff like throughout the year. I'm always gonna send it to y'all, but that's pretty much like what Camp Blake is. It's essentially event planning business. And I've also ventured off like a lot of people DM me now to help or to plan their trips. So like kind of a trip advisor as well. So
Okay.
over this past year, probably like 8 to 10 trips I've planned, like just making more money on the side like that. So yeah, that's what Camp Blake is.
So where do you think that comes from? Because I know you got your sister. Your sister, like, she also is a bit of an entrepreneur
Hmm.
herself, right? You know, pushes different
Oh yeah.
initiatives, and obviously, like, it runs in the family. So, like, you picking that up from the family,
Yeah.
or I mean, what's y'all goal? Have y'all ever talked about just being like serial entrepreneurs? Like, what was that dynamic like?
So it's funny because like I think I'm naturally motivated by my family. I don't really talk to them about me going in that direction, but it's like Blake, like you need to do that. Like people are liking what you're doing. Go ahead, let's get to the LLC. I call my sister. We go ahead and do that to make it official. But every person in my family has a business, so I'm naturally like even my little sister, like she has
Bossy Inc.
yeah, Bossy K
She
underscore
got a
Inc.
business?
Yes, bro. Like
Oh,
she does like logos like this, like she can do that. She makes like shirt logos for people,
okay.
flyers, all type of stuff. Like she's great with that. So she been like we've been buying her softwares and stuff so she can get right. She looking at different colleges to be in graphic design, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I was about to say that.
she really liking it. She really liking that. My sister got about 3, 4 businesses. My parents got we have a family business, like a concession business that they are busy every single weekend. Like they're pretty hot in the city. Y'all check out Tickle Me Pink concessions in Metro Atlanta. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm naturally, motivated by them to just go get it, just go do something, make my own money, make my own name, and try to grow in that space.
What are some of the things you've learned throughout that journey of like being an entrepreneur, right? Like probably seeing your parents' wins and losses and seeing some of the things your sister could have done, better, or what went well. Like, how have you been able to translate those trials and tribulations onto like your business? Or what at least have you learned from, like, I guess, having obstacles?
Yeah, yeah. So I learned. I'm just gonna go right back to it, like to be thorough with everything, like keeping spreadsheets of people's money, making sure you're not losing track of. It's really money, if you want to be honest. Not losing track of people's money. Make sure people know exactly where their money's going. Make sure you're not liable for a lot of things. Like I'm really working on being more thorough as far as like getting like what's it called? Like liability forms out to all my campers that come, like
That's
just
big.
so we know, like, you break anything, you break a leg, like that's not on Camp Blake, or like
Mhm.
you fall overboard on the Miami trip, like that's not on me, but my name's gonna be on it. It's like I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to, cause like I
Nobody
don't.
jump ship, please.
Yeah, man.
Nobody
Like
jump ship.
yeah, so that's something that I definitely learned from my family, just to be thorough with all that stuff, and really just to make sure it's always authentic, but always like growing, like
Mm.
doing something different every time. Make sure like the experience is different every single time, like but better, like more, put more to it. Like even if you got to charge more, people are like coming to your page, so like they're starting to realize like this is some good stuff. So it isn't just like a regular trip, man. Like I can't express it enough, like how detailed and oriented Camp Blake really is. Like it's a trip where you come and you're there. You don't pay nothing while you're there. You follow the itinerary. You got food in front of your face when you wake up. You feel me? We do, theme parties and all type of stuff. You're gonna have a driver out there when we're there. Like it's just a whole bunch of stuff that I take care of on the front end, so that my guests don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So going back to what I said earlier in the episode, where I admire Blake's growth firsthand because I've seen it over the last 4, 5, 6 years now. Right,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about. And one of that is this. I'll never forget. We had a late night conversation our senior year outside of
Oh yeah,
was it Rattlers
I
Point
know where you
or
go.
like Brook Conklin on
Yeah,
Conklin, sitting down like midnight, and we got into a heated discussion, this heated argument. And me and him really don't never really have had too many like
Yeah.
heated arguments. And so this was just one of those that was like playful, but it was like serious. I never forget I said, bro, you don't have a business mind. That's why like you're not understanding what I'm saying right now. You don't have a business mind. And I told him that. And
He
I'll
ain't
never
like that shit.
I hated that.
He
bro.
hated it.
I was
He
like,
hated it.
"Bruh, nah.
he hated
He was
it.
like, hell nah, twin.
I'm gonna add that video like on
Yeah, yeah,
so people
put it on
see it. But I say that story to say that, you know, a year and a half ago, you called me and said, bro, I'll never forget that because that helped me out and it motivated me.
Oh God.
And to see what he's doing real time now
Yeah.
with this and how it's one thing, again, people can see from the outside looking in, but really knowing and understanding who he is as a person and the time, effort that he puts into this camp. Like, it's not just a happy-go-lucky, let's just have fun, which, yes, people have fun. Like, that's the point. He curates the experience for other people, but he really does put the time and effort into what he does. And I think it's just commendable. And that just shows the growth. That's one thing that we're really big on this
Right.
show is talking about growth. And every camp, there's an elevation factor in it, right? And so I just want to make sure that that's said and known for the audience. And I just want to ask one question as well. You know, how do you think you can grow it in 2025? You mentioned it's going to be a big year. It's going to be great. But what are some things that people can look forward to in 2025?
All right, I'm going to say it just because so they can watch it.
Okay,
honestly.
for sure.
So we got some big stuff coming up in 25. You know, we got more trips. That's one thing I told myself, like, more trips, bro. Like, no more summer, winter. You feel me? Go spring, summer. Go every season. You feel me? People asking you, like, it shouldn't be 6 months between the camp. 3 months, camp. Let's go. We're going to have a camp. We're going to have a party in between. We're going to do community service. Let's get a scholarship, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing more stuff. So boom, 2025. I got my Utah trip in January. Ski trip, annual thing. House for that. I'm going to show you the house for that. The house for that is ridiculous. I'm doing, so Dreamville is having their 5-year.
Yeah.
So I'm doing Camp Blake Takes Over Dreamville. I'm doing that.
That's
so I'm going to get
That's
a big
tough.
house in Raleigh.
Yeah.
And pretty much we just all, you know, we're going to wake up, breakfast. Someone cook us up some breakfast. I'm going to hire some drivers, take us to Dreamville. We'll drink a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Go out there to Dreamville, go back to the house. We might go out. We might have a theme party at the house. You know what I'm saying? But Camp Blake take over Dreamville.
Dreamville Fest is a vibe.
It's a vibe. I feel like that's going to be a good turnout.
That's a
bro.
good one. That's a good one.
So we're doing that. I got my spring camp in Cancun. Summer, I'm going to do Punta Cana. I'm going to go back. So I'm going to do Punta Cana for the summer camp.
Man was actually born in DR.
That's going to be my third time. And then like,
you got to do Colombia.
man, I've been out there, bro.
Good vibes, man. Yeah.
Good vibes.
Love Colombia, man.
Yeah, man. What else I got? 4th of July, Miami, of course. Boat party. I usually do a camp. I haven't even mentioned a cruise. I do Camp Blake on deck every year. It's a cruise. They love that, bro. Like I'm thinking about doing 2. I might do 2 of those a year, bro. Like a lot of people hit me up for that cruise, bro. Like that's a good one. I usually have good groups come to that. And then I think I want to do another fall camp, like cabin trip or whatever. And then I also do like I have this basketball tournament that I have during Be Out weekend. I throw parties throughout the year.
Yeah.
Scholarship right before school starts. Just trying to, whatever I can dip my hand into, I try to. Dipping my hand. I got a New Year's Eve gig, New Year's Day gig. Just making money where I can. That's really it.
For sure.
You been to Camp Blake?
I've not. Nah.
Yeah.
It's
He came to
well, no, I
Miami.
came to one. I came to Miami.
Oh,
I came to Miami.
I ain't been to one yet, man.
I came to Miami.
I gotta pull up.
Even if
bruh.
it's like the Miami boat trip, bro.
Yeah, I gotta show.
That
up
was
for
good
one,
vibes.
man.
Miami,
Yeah,
great
bro.
vibes.
I be looking at your stories, bro. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Eddie be pulling up. Eddie's DJ. DJ Eddie Lee.
Shout out DJ.
Shout out
Eddie.
DJ
Shout out
Eddie.
DJ
Cream.
Cream.
Nah, for sure, man. But post grad, right? On top of the Camp Blake, you just talked about a little bit about Riley. You actually spent some time over there.
Yeah.
real quick, like obviously I pulled up on you. We went to Dreamville Fest together.
Yeah.
2023?
23, yeah, 23.
Yeah,
That was a great. That was a great.
That was a great one.
That was
bruh.
a great one, man. Drake, Usher.
Drake.
Yeah.
Who else was out there?
Shit, Summer.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
He came out with Weezy,
21.
Uzi,
Yeah.
21.
That was great.
I mean,
That was
crazy, bro. I ain't know Waka Flocka was gonna go that
Waka.
crazy, bruh.
Yeah.
Had his hype man on top of the whole.
Yeah,
I did see
yeah.
that. I did see
Nah,
that.
it was a
Uzi.
crazy time, bro. But not for sure. Like talk about like obviously your time in Riley post grad, and obviously like now you in Atlanta again, like in that whole transition.
Right. So coming out of college, well, really I can go back to 21. Summer of 21, I had an internship with John Deere. It was a virtual internship, but it kind of led me into my full-time position getting out of college. Worked with John Deere in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's what took me there. It was I actually really, as much as people say like I wasn't there, people say like you was everywhere. I just like traveling, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed living there a lot. Like it was just like, it was chill, but it wasn't like boring.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. Like I go there and just to get away. Like I love my space. I love the fact that my sister lived 15 minutes away from me. It was good. We wasn't too far from DC, not too far from the beach, not too far from the mountains. Charlotte was a couple hours away. Like living in Raleigh was good for me. Like I met some people out there that's really still close to me right now. But you know, getting a new job, going into, well, I can be honest about this. We had a layoff session going on at John Deere. So going into my, like, it was like 2.5 years, like they start laying people off. So they laid off a whole bunch of people and I just happened to be in that group.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, going back to Georgia, it was a big transition for me. I was at a point where like, dang, like, you know, what am I finna do now? Like,
Yeah.
like, do I just gotta run with this camp? Do I gotta go harder with camp? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start going harder with camp. But you know, like I said before, like God has a funny way of showing things. So he always knew I wanted to go back to Georgia. Like I'm always in Atlanta. I throw my parties there, all my boys there.
Yeah.
Not even a month later, I got me a job. So like I got a job by the grace of God. It's been good. I'm lead campus organizer at Kennesaw State. So like event coordination. So it kind of works for me. Stuff like that. So it's been good for me. Making good money. Still looking to elevate, like be back to where I was, but like grow and like I want to hop back into the corporate space just for the money wise, really honestly. But the ultimate goal is like for my business to, you know, grow where it's at. But yeah.
I know you're in a good place right now with, you know, camp and your job now that you have, but I have to ask because, you know, I've talked about, you know, being in a transition from one job to the next before in previous episodes. And there's been other people who've like hit me up or hit OD up about, you know, similar situations. So
Shit, I'm going through the same thing right now.
Yeah.
for sure. So like, I wanted to know like how, even though like you're at where you're at now, how was that when it's like, dang, like I intern here. I thought I was doing well. Like I know I'm producing. I built a established, you know, home here. My sister's here.
Mhm.
I met good people. What was that like? And was there ever like, did your pride get hit? Especially not saying that it's I'm not saying it's bad to, you know, move back to the city where you're from, or even to if you did move back in with your folks. But was it just a little like, dang, like, am I taking steps back? Did you question yourself? And obviously, you know, you said God makes, you know, decisions at the right time and things happen for a reason. But did you question God in the same, you know, frame?
Yeah. So personally, I never questioned God.
Sure.
But honestly, I did think like, dang, like I ain't think I was ever gonna move back in with my people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But like I said, he got a funny way of showing things. Like now I'll get to see my sister go through her senior year.
Yeah.
You feel me? I get to help my parents more with their business. So they've been using me more with their business. Able to do a lot of things at home, make more money with the party scene like I've been doing. Things like that. I feel like God set me up for something bigger right now. Of course, we can't see it. It's not on my timing, but I I never really doubted. It's something that I pride myself on. I think I do a good job on. Is like I don't doubt anything. Like I don't like I believe in a lot of things. Like I bet money on parlays. I believe it's going to hit. If it's fourth quarter, Jameis Winston got 250 yards.
Gleason ticket.
He need 315. I'm believing.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah.
So
He gonna throw you 500 yards
Yeah.
and 5 picks.
Yeah. KD gonna get that 26.5, ain't it?
So yeah, bro. So yeah, I never really doubted. It's just when I got out, when it was time. So like, I got let go in June, really right before the boat party.
Yeah.
I ain't say nothing, but it was like, dang, like I was
Okay.
I was out like the week
Yeah.
before, but they gave me a nice severance for a few months, and within those few months, I picked up a new job. So it just kind of worked out for me.
Yeah.
You know, in my favor, which I'm very blessed and grateful for. But no, I never really questioned the process, and I still don't, because I'm still in search for like something bigger.
Yeah.
So I just know I believe, and you know, the hard work got to come behind the belief. You know, if the hard work don't come behind the belief, then you just gonna be believing forever. You feel me?
It's a
So,
bar.
Oh God.
Yeah, y'all
Bar.
write that
That's a
one down.
clip.
Very
Yeah,
big.
you
Clip.
can't be believing
Very
forever. So
What they
like,
say, clock that T.
think about No, think about it though. Think about it though. Like, even like, I got homeboys, aspiring rappers, man. Like, aspiring rappers, like, y'all got boys at your home. You know,
Yeah.
they'll believe, but are they in the studio every day?
Mhm.
Right.
Are they meeting the people they need to meet? Are they putting themselves out there? Are they performing?
Mm-hmm.
Are they, you feel me? Are they are they marketing? Are they marketing themselves? Are they doing paid promo stuff to like put their stuff out there? It's like, you say you want to be a rapper, but do you really want to make it? Like, it takes a lot to really
A lot of sacrifice.
make it. It's a lot of sacrifice. Like, are you doing something different than this person? Like, what's making you feel me? Like, that's what I pride myself on. Like, doing something different than the norm. Like I can go into something else, bro. Like,
Keep cooking.
it's been people like,
Keep cooking, cut.
I don't want to say names, but it's been people like trying
We can blurt it out if you need to.
to do like, it's been trying to do the Camp Blake lane. And it's like, for me, I feel like, you know, if I'm not inspiring, I feel like I'm not doing nothing right at all. But, you know, a lot of people will send it to me, be like, you know, this person might be like, they're copying you, like it's not Camp Blake or whatever. But, you know, I just see it as inspiration. But that's kind of off topic. But I feel like it was back to kind of what.
Nah, stay
I
on
was
that.
saying.
Stay on that though for a second.
Yeah.
Like, cause I feel like in today's society, people always say that, you know, you could be biting off of somebody else, but the word you just used is inspiring, right? Like, so, you know, when those people say, oh, they're biting off you or they're copying you, like, what is your natural response, or like, how do you combat that? You feel me? Because I think that's important. Like, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of companies, that's what happens. Pepsi, there's a Coke, right? Like, or
Right.
vice versa. Just as an example, Google, Microsoft, whatever, however you want to slice it, that's just how it is. So in your case, how do you, see that and take that?
Right. So for me, it's like, I feel like growing up, I've always been a person that's like, people gonna copy. Might just be how I am, like just how I am as a person. Not necessarily like how I dress or anything like that, but just kind of the words I say or like how I go about certain stuff. Like, people might just try to copy. And, you know, my mom always taught me, like, if they not copying or if they not hating, then you not doing nothing at all. Like, you actually you not shit for real. Like, like, you're not, you're really nobody. Cause like, so it's kind of like, I feel like I'm inspiring like other people to try to do what I'm doing. Like, of course it's not going to be to the extent, cause like I said, people don't know what I actually do behind the scenes, but you feel me? I feel like if people are doing it in their way, why not try to, you know, see where I can inspire and help out.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, you know, we got that T-10, you feel me? So we would love to keep the conversation going. I just got a couple questions for you. Like, being at the InnerChild Podcast and stuff, how are you able to like stay connected with your inner child? Like, what's some of the practices that you're doing every day to make sure that like Blake is staying in tune with Blake?
Every day. I I mean, we've been talking about it the whole time, but my business is like screams Blake's inner child. Like everything I do with my business is like I'm trying to make sure that everybody's tapping into their inner child. Like we were just talking about it, Casanat. Like Casanat is a person that, you come on his stream, you're feeding off his energy instantly. Like you might be a rapper in the industry who's looked at as a hard body. You 21 Savage, you hard body, you sell drugs, you kill people, whatever you do, bruh. But you come on his stream, you're a child again. Like you having fun, you're, doing whatever y'all doing. So I feel like that's something that I want to do with myself, but I also do with other people. You come to Camp Blake, like you're going back to summer camp as a child.
Yeah.
Like you come, you don't even have to use your phone. You don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about what's at home. You come, you have a good time. We hanging out. It's a family environment. Like I feel like that's how I tap back in my inner child, by seeing it through everyone that's around me.
That's for sure. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take it back at home, but except, we got the liquor involved. You're a little kid, but you're an adult too. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then last question, man, like, if I'm struggling to channel back into that inner child, tap into, my growth, my passion, you know what I'm saying, my childhood, like, what do you feel like is a bit of an advice that you can hand over to somebody that's struggling to kind of figure that out?
I would say find true love and passion. It can be through a person. It can be through making money. It can be through something you might have learned. But I feel like once you find that love or that passion, I feel like true love comes from what you've been through.
Mm-hmm.
So like, say I love going to the deli and getting a 10-piece wing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to American Deli, I get me a 10-piece.
American Deli, crazy.
I've been loved that.
Yeah.
Like as a child, like I grew up on that.
Yep.
So it's like whatever you really love, like in order to tap back into that inner child, I feel like you have to like find that love, appreciate that love, and like embrace that love. I heard y'all talk about that before, like embracing who you are as a person and like what's bringing a smile on your face.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's gonna, channel that inner child in you.
For sure.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna give love, man.
Yeah, facts. And before I close it, I just want to say, I'm gonna look in the camera and say to Miss Simpson, Mr. Simpson, Netta, Mike, y'all raised a great young man, and he's continuing to grow. Again, I've seen it firsthand. We've been very close. There's been times online where, I had to give him my last dollar. He gave me his last dollar, right? And I think that's a testament to the character of the values that were instilled in him from a very young age. And I want to say, y'all did a very great job at raising him. And he's continued to, pour into me, pour into OD, pour into our other line brothers, and just pour into people, in this world. So y'all did a great job. And, y'all have a great family dynamic. And that's something to be, very proud of as parents and even as sisters in Braxton and Boston, even though I haven't talked to Boston as much. But, I just want to say that whole family dynamic, that cohesive unit, that structure, that unit is something that's very commendable. I just want to say that, to y'all when y'all watch this. But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure having you on and having this conversation. This time that doesn't really kind of justify, the more, I want to just acknowledge, you as a person and everything that you stand for and that you're about. We know off camera, how we are and how all of us are, but we don't get these times that often to where, the public can really see, what is our bond. Like people always see how close we are, but it's way more than words could ever describe, man. And I really had to say that because people just don't really understand how we really operate. And when we say like we're really close, we're 20 in, 20 out, like it's really like it's that. Really, and it's a for lifer thing, no doubt about it. And I know OD feels the same way.
You already know me, we locked in.
I say my piece, but this is the official, this is the official, time that we're on show saying that. But this is the InnerChild Podcast. Continue to embrace your inner child. Follow us on social media on Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, at Official Inner Child. Again, I'm JB. That's my co-host, OD. Blake, thank you for coming on. And as always, don't forget to embrace your inner child.
Peace out.